Retain gang, what's poppin', man? This your boy Tay, back at y'all again with another video, man. Peace, love, and abundance to everybody watching right now. And man, I show my gratitude for everybody that's tapped in. If you're new to the channel, go ahead and leave a comment. That way you can get a proper welcome. And if you're a veteran, keep on showing love, man. If you want to support yourself or the channel, I have some courses available. And I also have a Retain Gang community that you can join if you want to dive deeper into your journey to your self-improvement. All right, so I'll leave my links in my description and in my pinned comments. So, how the heart chakra affects you on semen retention. This is probably one of the most important ones you want to unblock and activate, because the heart is the middle passage. This is the gatekeeper between the lower self and the higher self, right? It brings balance, it brings harmony to the body, to your life. The heart chakra is associated with green, okay? Nature is green. Vegetation, so going into nature is a way for you to really activate your heart chakra. Wearing the color green, you see what I'm saying? That energy is going to resonate with your heart, and it's going to help you to develop that love, because the heart is about love, right? As we're on this journey of unblocking our chakras, as you let that energy rise up from retention, you get to, you've already unblocked the root, and then you guided that energy, that creative energy, to rise up to the solar, which is having goals, having a purpose, and being consistent with that purpose. So now when we get to the heart, it's all about having unconditional love, right? You having empathy, you being able to wake up every single day and just be content with your life, no matter what situation you're in, you see? And that's what a lot of us have to work on. A lot of us have to work on that contentment in our life. Some of us, we don't like ourselves. We hate ourselves. And we show it unconsciously. We show it by the way we treat ourselves, by the way we talk to ourselves. Okay, so you got to eradicate that energy ASAP. It's going to hold you back. Remember, you cannot get to the higher realms of yourself if you don't unblock your heart chakra. Okay? Earth, this is a heart school, right? If you rearrange the word earth, you get heart. So we are here to learn how to love. Point blank, period. Everybody has dealt with heartbreak before. Am I right or wrong? Nobody that's walking the face of this earth has not dealt with that before. You see what I'm saying? So our job is to learn how to love. Our job is to put the pieces back together no matter what you've been through, and still have that unconditional love for yourself, for life, and for the people around you. Everybody's looking for love. You look at all these dating shows, all these reality shows. Most of them are people looking for love, looking for a partner, because this is a heart school. Okay? So you have to learn how to regulate that energy center the proper way so that you can have the proper love in your life. So a lot of us might have an underactive heart chakra, and you get this from heartbreak. You might have been taken advantage of. You might have, you might have been in a bad relationship that was toxic. So now that you're not in that relationship anymore, you have bitterness. You isolate yourself. You can't make or form deep connections. You are afraid of having a love connection with someone because you have trust issues. You don't trust anyone. And that can block your heart chakra up to the point where now it's not enough energy flowing there. And then by you having that chakra blocked and not enough energy flowing there, it's going to reflect how you feel about yourself. You might start to develop self-hate, not being confident in yourself, those sort of things like that. So the way that you open up your heart chakra is, like I said before, get out into nature and just plant your feet in the grass, sit by a tree, and just be. Okay? If you know anything about dimensions, the third dimension is what we live in right now. Well, what the earth is, essentially, which is the physical, the material realm, right? It's third dimensional. It has volume, right? Length, height times width, volume. So there's space. But the fourth dimension, which will be the heart chakra, the fourth chakra, is time itself. So past, present, and future. So a lot of times we have a underactive heart chakra is because we're living in the past, or you're living in the future, right? The past, you're thinking about good times that you had. You know, you're having regrets. Oh, I should have did this. I shouldn't have did that. And when you stay there, you develop depression. You develop being bitter. You develop a hate towards life and towards yourself. As on the contrary, with the future, when you're in the future so much, worrying about tomorrow, worrying about next week or next month, you develop anxiety. You develop fear, right? You're always on edge because you don't know what's next. And you have to understand that you have to be in the present right now. Right now, as we're speaking, as I'm talking, you have to be in the present moment. The future is right now. Every word that I'm speaking is creating the future. You see? When you learn how to be present, now you're able to see life and your life for what it is. Okay? And I go on to my next point is showing gratitude. The only way that you can show gratitude is by living in the present. If you're always in the past, you can never be grateful for what's right now. If you're always thinking about the future, you can never be grateful for what's right now. You can never be grateful. Okay, and most people live in the future or the past. Right? Ain't that something? All these people you see walk around daily, they're not even focused on the now. Most of them are in the past or in the present or in the future. My fault. You know, that's what they're thinking about. So you have to get out of that habit of thinking like that, because it's holding back your heart chakra and it's blocking it up. So get you a journal and start saying gratitude affirmations, right? Be thankful for everything, whatever you can think of in your mind that comes to mind about what's going good in your life. Write it down. Everybody has something to be grateful for. Even if it's one thing, you have something. Everybody has something to love about themselves. Everybody has something to love about themselves. You might like the way that you dress. You might like the way that you speak. You might like the way that you cook certain dishes. You might like the way that you clean. You might like the TV show that you pick and that you watch. You be like, man, I picked some good shows, you know? It can be whatever. But those things matter because that is unique to you and who you are. See, it's all about bringing ourselves back to balance. Your heart chakra has its own consciousness. Now, don't get me wrong. Love isn't about letting people walk all over you. And that's when we get into an overactive heart chakra. Now it's too wide open. You letting too much energy flow through it. And now you're dependent on people. You start to develop jealousy. You know, you let people, you give too much love and you let people take advantage of you. And that's what we don't want to do. Just because you love someone don't mean you let them just do whatever. We still have boundaries. Okay? You have boundaries. Remember, your heart is surrounded by your rib cage. It's inside of your rib cage. So even though you're you know, it's all about unconditional love and just loving people for who they are, you still have a protective barrier around it that don't just allow anything in it. Okay? So you got to set boundaries for yourself. That's how you keep it balanced. You need to do gratitude meditation as well, where you reflect on yourself and you reflect on self-love. It's getting back to loving yourself. And this is what semen retention is all about. It's about loving yourself. You're on that path. You're climbing that mountain to get to that point. When you start to love yourself, the world opens up to you. It's a whole new perspective. You rise up in consciousness. You're on a whole different level. A lot of you guys might even start attracting relationships, the love of your life, when you unblock your heart chakra and start loving yourself. Because when you attract somebody in your life, it's just a reflection of you. A lot of y'all don't know that. when you attract a relationship, that's you. That's your energy. It's a reflection of you. You see? So start working on yourself. With this journey, we are using our creative force to become the best version of ourselves. All right? So the more and more you stay consistent on your goals, on your journey, you start taking care of yourself, you start improving yourself, it's going to automatically make you start loving yourself more. Okay? It's just going to happen naturally. But you can't be so focused on this journey and your streaks and, oh man, tomorrow and next week. On the contrary, stop worrying about your mistakes. Stop letting that dictate your present moment, because it doesn't. It happened. Let it stay in the past. We take those mistakes, we learn from them and move on. Okay? Because that's going to stop you from truly becoming and shining like you should. You see? So we're taking this journey and we're using it to clean house. Okay? Before you can build yourself up, you got to break yourself down. So you got to cleanse the body. You have to cleanse the negative energy, the traumatic energy, you know, especially from your heart space. So an affirmation that I like to say to cleanse my heart chakra is I'll say, I release any energy that's creating a block within my heart chakra. Any negative energy that's weighing me down and preventing my heart to be light as a feather, I release it. Okay, and as you're doing this, when you take a deep breath, you want to bring in clean air. You want to feel that air coming in. And as you blow out, you want to feel yourself, visualize yourself releasing dark or heavy energy from your heart space and from the rest of your spaces as well. Okay, this works for the whole body, not just your heart chakra, but specifically the heart chakra. You want to focus and visualize yourself releasing this negative energy. And then you want to send love to yourself. You want to send love to your family, to anybody that you can think of. Just send them love. Tell them that you forgive them and forgive yourself for whatever it might be. Just forgive and forgive others. And you're going to feel your heart get lighter and lighter. Because this is what we're here for, man. We have to learn how to let things go. We have to learn how to forgive. Not forget, but forgive. And not let those emotions control us in the present moment. You know, if you had an ex and y'all didn't work out, okay, it didn't work out. But don't let that emotion control you in the present moment. Don't let that stop you from loving in the future. A lot of people get bitter and they get one bad relationship, or, you know, relationship didn't work out, and all of a sudden they just think all women or all men are just like that. No, that was just an experience that you went through. But what are you going to do? Are you going to take that experience and are you going to let that control you and stop you from finding love in the future? No, you shouldn't do that. You see? It's all about learning about yourself. You have to learn the highs and lows with the heart chakra for you to have a full spectrum or a full view of understanding, a 360 view of understanding of how it works. You can't just be in love and sunshine and roses and rainbows all the time, because that's the only perspective you're going to know. You have to see the dark side of it as well, so you know what to do and not to do in the future, in the present. Okay? So as we let this energy rise up and it gets to the heart chakra, this is what you're going to have to deal with. You're going to have to deal with the past emotions that you've been holding on to, bitterness or whatever, and you're going to have to deal with that in the present moment. So you're going to be put in situations where those things come back into your life in a different shape and form, right? It might be, for example, you might get into another relationship or relationships with people, and they're different, but the nature of them is the same. You see what I'm saying? And now you have to undo your wrongs that you did in the past. So let's say you had an ex, you didn't forgive them for what they did, or you did something, you know, and now you're in a new relationship and those same topics come up or those same situations come up. So now you're put in a position where, what are you going to do this time? Are you going to make the same decision, or are you going to choose wisely, choose differently this time? When you learn from those mistakes, not only does that unblock your heart chakra, but it also helps you to evolve to the next stage and find true love and love yourself. So no matter what you go through in this life, always love yourself. That should never change. Okay? And as this energy keeps rising up, it's going to challenge you. It's going to test you. Because in order for you to be the best version of yourself, you got to go through the trials. You got to go through that rites of passage. It can't just be handed to you. We absorb a lot of trauma and a lot of baggage here. For that reason, it's training you to stay in the frequency of love at all times. Okay? So with that being said, guys, y'all let me know what y'all thought about this video. And how are you dealing with the heart chakra? How are you dealing with opening it up or keeping it balanced? You know what I'm saying? So if you need to speak with me, I do one-on-one consultations. So I'll leave my link in my description and in my pinned comments. With that being said, you have a beautiful day, and I'm out. Peace.